All right, here we are. The Real Matthew Show here, live from quarantine. Hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's safe. Today I'm back for another music review, and that's a review of this new EP from Conway the Machine and Alchemist titled LULU. So if you don't know who Conway the Machine is, you should definitely look him up. He's a rapper from Buffalo, New York. He's part of the Griselda family, and Griselda is a group of rappers from Buffalo, New York, who are all family actually. So you got Westside Gunn, which is the owner of Griselda Records, and then you got his brother Conway the Machine, who I'm reviewing right now, and then you have their cousin Benny the Butcher. And these guys are very lyrical rappers. They're underground rappers, and they're basically one of the biggest names in the underground right now, just because of their consistency and their style, their music. They're very artistic. They incorporate different things into their music, like a lot of wrestling references and stuff like that. The music is definitely hardcore, but it's very good quality. It's very consistent. So they're one of the biggest groups or individuals rapping in the game right now, in the underground at least. So this is Conway the Machine's EP with The Alchemist. Conway released a few EPs last year, or you could say mixtapes. His Everybody is Food 3 he released, which was dope. And then also his lead up to his debut album on Shady Records, that's called God Don't Make Mistakes, but he had a mixtape or EP leading up to it called Look What I Became, and then that leads into Doesn't Make Mistakes, or God Don't Make Mistakes. So it's going to be a big year for Conway the Machine. Hopefully we get his debut album on Shady Records, but for now we get this EP with The Alchemist. Man, if you don't know who The Alchemist is, you're not a really big hip-hop fan, or haven't been around hip-hop for very long, or maybe you're pretty new to the genre, or only listen to trap music or something, because The Alchemist is one of the most legendary producers ever in hip-hop, I'd say. He'll definitely go down as one of the best. I'd say probably in my top 5 producers of all time. And he's worked with so many different artists. I can't even name them all, but he has a very distinct style. It is very hardcore, golden age, and boom bap, kind of like the Griselda boys. So these guys coming together makes perfect sense. They've definitely worked together before. I don't know if they've released a full EP together or mixtape together, but they've definitely done songs before. Songs like Mac 10 Wounds, which is probably my favorite Conway and Alchemist song. So yeah, this is a good EP. I like it. It's only 7 songs, but that's what you expect. This is not like an album. It's a mixtape or it's an EP. It's more of a snack leading up to his debut album, God Doesn't Make Mistakes, on Shady Records, that hopefully we'll get this year. But I thought this was good. It was consistent. It only has 7 songs, but it's cohesive. All the beats are very good. They feel similar but different. They have a similar sound to them, kind of this dark, eerie, a lot of dark, eerie beats with a lot of string samples, deep string samples. And The Alchemist, always brings quality music. And same with Conway. He brought great verses all the way through this album or this EP, and even switched up things a little bit, doing a bit of singing and switching up his flow and doing a bit of a triplet flow. So he did some different stuff on this too, kept it fresh, and we got some good features as well. So anyway, let's get this started. Conway the Machine, The Alchemist, LULU, Real Matthew Show, live from quarantine. Let's get it. All right, so the first track, they have an intro. I won't talk much about the intro. It's basically a skit, a recorded skit. Alchemist does that a lot, where he gets different snippets from different movies or different things like that, and puts it into the music as skits. So I won't talk too much about that because it's not really significant to the music or what's really happening here. But the first real song is called 14 Keys, and I like it. It's a nice smooth intro. I like the jazzy woodwinds and guitar sample as well, plus the boom bap drums. And I feel on this song, Conway has 2 good verses and also does some decent melodies for the singing and the hook. So we got 2 good verses and we got the hook from Conway. And he didn't do too bad with the singing. I mean, he's not the best singer, but he has a pretty good melody in this hook. So I thought he did pretty good. All right, the next song I'm going to talk about is called Contract. And it's officially the second song. And I like this song's sample in it. I think the Alchemist's epic classical string sample is probably the most animated string sample throughout this EP, in an EP full of string samples. I like Conway's double A rhyme scheme. So basically what that means is he's using the same syllable all throughout the verse, or rhyming the same sound all throughout the verse. And I thought that was really dope. But unfortunately, there is only one verse in this song. So it's just one verse from Conway. And then unlike the first song, 14 Keys, when Conway goes to sing at the end of the song, I just think that his nasally sounding voice and the simple melody of the hook just don't add much to the song at all. If anything, it takes away from the quality of what we got with this great sample and great Conway verse. So didn't really feel his singing at the end of Contract, but it is what it is. All right, the third song, and the song I've actually heard first, that was released first, it's called Shootin' Sideways featuring Schoolboy Q. So this is probably my favorite song on the album, and it's probably the most well put together song on the EP in my opinion. I really like the low, almost ominous string sample that's really catchy. It works great with Schoolboy Q's flow and delivery on the hook. Schoolboy Q brings a reggae flair to the hook with his singing and melody, and it's a well-written hook as well. It's very catchy, it's well written, and Conway brings two good verses to this track. So everything about Shootin' Sideways is a good track. Definitely a banger, great beat, great verses, great feature, great hook. All good things to say about that. All right, so the next song, and he actually released music for the video for this recently, is Calvin. And on Calvin, we get another ominous string sample with a dark feeling to it. And I'm going to be saying that a lot in this album. You're getting a lot of these dark string samples, but they're consistent all the way through, so it's cohesive. And on Calvin, Conway switches things up a bit by using a triplet flow, similar to what he used on the song Half of It from his EP Look What I Became in 2019. His fast flow fits well with the skeletal dark instrumental, and he gets lyrical while keeping up these triplet flows, unlike a lot of these mumble rappers who use these triplet flows all throughout their music where they don't really have good lyrics also in it as well. His lyrics are very intricate, and the beat is very skeletal, and he does these fast triplet flows while also putting in a lot of lyrics. So it actually works out very well. It's a good track. So that was Calvin. And the next track I'm going to talk about is called They Got Sunny, and that's featuring Cormega. So Cormega is a legendary Queens rapper. He was in The Firm along with Nas and AZ. He's definitely a lyricist as well. Actually, one of my favorite rappers of all time. So I was super stoked to see him on this. And on this song, we get another ominous sounding beat with some eerie piano chords and organ chords this time. Conway's flow and wordplay get really intricate on his verse, and the legendary feature by Cormega matches that sentiment. This song's arguably the best song for lyricism on the whole EP. I think both of their lyrics were really intricate in the song, and they kind of feed off each other. Conway's verse, what he talks about in the first couple of bars, Mega mirrors that in his first couple of bars. And just great bar work overall in this song by Cormega and Conway. And it's great to see Mega featured on a Griselda song. I honestly don't know if they worked together before, but I'm a huge Mega fan, huge Griselda fan. So it's great to see Conway and Cormega working together. So that was super dope. Last song is called Gold BBS. And this final song feels a bit like the first song, 14 Keys. We get two verses again, like 14 Keys, and Conway singing the hook for this one. But unlike the hook on 14 Keys, I think Conway's hook in this last song kind of lacks passion, and his delivery and voice don't really make up for that because he's not the best singer. So the fact that he's just kind of relaxing and relying on his voice for this, and it's not very animated or passionate, it doesn't really bring much to the table. Just kind of like the singing at the end of Contract. I mean, it's okay. It's better than Contract, but it's not the best, but it's not terrible either. So it's okay. So yeah, that's it. 7 songs, 1 intro, 6 official songs. And yeah, overall, I think this was good. Like I said, it was cohesive. It's consistent. You get a consistent sound by The Alchemist. You get consistently good rapping by Conway. You get good features. You get good verses. Very cohesive sound all the way through. My only downsides was maybe the singing at the end of Contract and the singing at the end of Gold BBS. But other than that, it was dope. It was cool to have the triplet flows where it was. The features were good. Yeah, I mean, overall, it's a good EP. It's a good little snack in between what we'll be getting for Conway, before we're getting Conway's debut album on Shady titled God Don't Make Mistakes. So look out for that. But as long as you take this into context of that it's just an EP, is a 7-track EP, just a snack, just an appetizer, you could say, for his actual debut album, then it's very good. I mean, you can't take any marks away from it for being short when you consider what it is. Conway's not releasing one of these every year. He does multiple EPs in a year, multiple mixtapes. I think he released maybe 2 or 3 last year. So we're going to get a couple more of these. So when you take it in that context, I think it's a good project. So I'm going to go with 7 out of 10 for this one. I think it was good. You guys should check it out. Conway the Machine, The Alchemist, LULU. All right, stay safe.